It's Friday, November 8th, and it's time for your weekly recap. Before we get too deep into things, I want to say congratulations to the winner of the El Capitan Mega Pack. To find out if you won, go to the Magic Geek blog right now and see if your name's listed there. To find out what's up for grabs this week, keep watching right here on the weekly recap. Benjamin from Facebook, will the sponge balls be a good trick to do for adults? Yes, adults love sponge magic. Magicians tend to think that it's juvenile, but you do a sponge magic trick for an adult and they laugh, they smile, the magic happens in their hand. It's strong, good magic. I do the sponge bunnies for everybody, whether there's a kid there or not. I do the sponge bunnies because it kills every single time. Leonardo from Facebook, hi Chris, I'm scared to get caught when I put 2 sponge balls in the spectator's hand and he believes to have only 1 ball. What should I do when I close his hand? There are 2 things you can do here that might help your confidence. One is to give them exact instructions. Give them something to focus on. If you want them to squeeze the ball, they're going to focus on squeezing, not on checking to make sure there's only 1 ball in there. Another great thing is to actually move their hand into a position where they can't open their hand. So you give them the ball, have them close their fingers around the ball, and turn their hand over. This way they can't check the ball, because if they do, it's going to fall to the ground. So by using those 2 things, you should have the confidence that you need to keep doing your sponge ball magic. Noah from Twitter, what are some other routines besides the basics with normal sponge balls? I'm going to refer you to a DVD called Oddballs by Scott Strange. He's got some amazing new techniques and routines with standard sponge balls, and I highly recommend you check those out. This week I wanted to let you know about Inferno by Joshua J. This is amazing. This is a fantastic routine. Basically, you have someone through a series of choices come up with a playing card. They're holding a matchbox in their hand. They open it up. There's 1 folded playing card in the matchbox, and lo and behold, it's the card that they named. This feels extremely fair, works great. I've been carrying this around with me since I learned it. That doesn't happen with all the magic tricks that come through Magic Geek. I saw this, I saw the potential in it, I put it in my pocket, and I've been performing it ever since. It is a lot of fun, it gets great reactions. Highly recommend you check out Inferno today. Victor R007 from YouTube, what pattern can you use for sponge balls? Just look, I have sponge balls. I'm going to show you something really cool with them. I've found that the best thing to do with sponge balls is to produce them in a magical way. Make one appear, cut one in half, duplicate them by tearing them apart. Do something like that to introduce them, and then it becomes more about the magic and less about the prop. Andrew from YouTube, I still feel bad for Terry Wrinkle from last weekly recap.
Don't worry about me, I don't need your pity. I'm just going to stand right here and off screen and wait to be mentioned. If someone has a question for Terry Wrinkle, I'll be here. I'm going to stand here and wait for now.
He's fine.
Just for now.
Dan from Twitter, what would you say are the best sponge balls to use? I like the Goshman Super Soft Sponge Balls. My personal preference is a 2-inch diameter. I like them to be larger so that I can play it for a larger audience. Most people go with the 1.5-inch diameter. It seems to fit their hands better and they feel more confident with that size. Alex from Facebook, what books or videos do you recommend for making sponge balls appear or transpose without getting caught by a spectator? In other words, what is maybe the book videos that have best subtleties? Thanks. I think that Steve Dacry is one of the best sponge magicians out there today, and he has some DVDs and a sponge ball toolkit, which is fantastic. If you want a crash course in sponge magic, go check out Steve Dacry's stuff. Billy from Facebook, what is one good form of misdirection while performing this trick? I think the best advice I can give you in sponge magic is to continue your action in a motivated way. What does that mean? I'll explain. You take your sponge prop, you put it in your hand, and then you reach for something else. Whether it's another sponge ball, a magic wand, a Sharpie, whatever it is, that action of going towards the next thing will cover almost any move that you do in sponge magic. Karu from YouTube, what's your favorite audience to perform to? For example, people on the street, on stage, or specific people. My favorite group of people to perform for are skeptical people that are out to have a good time. I feel like those type of people go through a change as they watch my magic. They're there, they're having a good time, so sure, I'll see a magic trick. And then as they watch, they morph into this like super excited person about magic. And that is my favorite person to perform for. Dan from Twitter, if you could use one sponge, balls, bunnies, anything effect for the rest of your life, what would it be? Smiley face times 5. My knee-jerk reaction is to say mad sponges. I love that routine. routine. However, because I don't know how long the popularity of Angry Birds is going to continue for the rest of my life, I'm going to probably go with the sponge rabbits. Amy from Twitter, do you know how to get a bunny out of a hat? Yes, I do. This is actually a really good question for this topic because that's how I get into the sponge rabbits when I perform it. I'll take a top hat, hide the sponge rabbit in my hand, show it empty, and then reach into the top hat as if I'm going to pull out a live rabbit and pull out the little sponge rabbit, and that lets me go straight into my sponge rabbit routine. This week we are doing a mystery box giveaway. We've done these before. There's a full description video if you click the link right here. Here's how you enter to win one of the 4 mystery boxes or one of the 20 mystery grab bags. All you have to do is place an order at Magic Geek, and you can up your chances by placing multiple orders. As many orders as you place before midnight on the 11th, that's how many times your name's going to go into the hat and up your chances of me pulling your name, reading it, and you getting a mystery box. Barack asks, hey Chris, what's your favorite sponge routine? Mad Sponges is my all-time favorite. It's great, it's dynamic, it happens with a spectator's phone or with your phone. People are aware of what Angry Birds is, and they have an emotional attachment to it, and it's interesting. It's got a lot going for it. I would check out Mad Sponges if I were you. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Please join us next week when we're talking about rope magic. If you have questions or comments about rope magic, leave them in the comment section down below or on Twitter, YouTube, or the Magic Geek blog. Be sure to check out the other videos we've got here. Click subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Click the like button and just be a happy person.